Hello and welcome to Module 2, Samsung Galaxy I7500 for Dummies. In this particular module, we're going to learn a little bit about the screens and the menus and the various ways in which you can navigate through them. To turn your cell phone on, just simply press and hold the power on key in the lower right hand corner and it'll go through its startup sequence. At the end of the sequence, you're going to get this sort of display here. To go to the next step, what you do is on the right hand side, just press and hold the hold key, and then that will take you to the home page where we're at right here. When it first comes up, you're going to see what's called the home screen here. There are actually three different screens. This is the home screen in the center. If you touch and drag on the screen, you'll see there's another screen on the right hand side. This one happens to have a clock. You can scroll back with your fingers to the home, and then you can also scroll to the other side there. Another way in which you can maneuver back is you can click on the center key here, which is called the home key, and it'll take you right back to the home screen, no matter where you are. Also on the home page or screen, you're going to see a Google search up here. We're going to talk about how to use that a little bit more later on. And then at the very top, you're also going to see things like your clock telling you what time it is, signal strength. There's an icon on here for Bluetooth. And if you have any messages or anything like that, those little icons will appear at the top. And I'll go into those again a little bit more in another module. Let's go back to the applications. What I want to do is show you, sometimes I have fat fingers and it's a little bit hard for me to press on the different icons over here to select an application. And that's where you can use the navigational key down here, which is pretty cool. See how I can scroll down just by pressing there. I can scroll to the side here. I can scroll up like that, scroll over here, or I can open an application up like the camera here just by pressing the OK key. One of the cool things about the phone is you can change the direction in which you look at the screen. I'm going to open up, for instance, the browser. You'll see here the browser is by Google. It's got a little keyboard underneath. But let's say I don't like it in this direction. Well, you just go ahead and change the phone like this, and then now you've got some more room underneath to do your application. So it's changes to whatever direction you want to go. But make sure you always have the shutter button on the top. It doesn't work if you go the other direction. So that's a little key there. Okay, let's take a look at this little key over here. This is the menu key. And if you go and just press it briefly once, it brings up a little menu over here, which talks about adding an application on, wallpaper. You can change the wallpaper on the back. You can do a Google search. It has things about notifications and also about settings, and we'll go into those a little bit more in another module. Now let's go and hit the return key and go back again to the main menu. Now let's take that same button. First time when I pressed it, I just pressed it briefly, but this time I'm going to press the menu button and I'm going to hold it down for about a second. Now you see it does something completely different. By holding it down a little bit longer, it actually brought up a keyboard, and then I can use that in conjunction with the Google search. So one button does two different functions just by how long you hold it. Short term brings up the setup menu key. Long term, a second or so, will bring up the keyboard. Okay, let's return back then to the home screen. One of the things that you need to watch out for has to do with that little hold key or lock key on the side. When you turn the display off with that and you decide to use this little carrying case, watch out. I have found from personal experience that it is so tight that if I put it in my pocket, it bumps against that hold lock key and it will turn your display on without you knowing about it, and it'll wear your battery out. The only solution I can think of is probably to get another holding case which is a little bit wider, but watch out for that. To turn it off, simply press and hold the power key in the lower right hand corner. It'll ask you what option you want to go through, silent mode, airplane mode, or power off. We're going to pick power off and then we're going to say OK, and that ends it for Module 2. Hopefully you learned a few things that'll help you out. In Module 3, I'm going to be talking about the menu here that I talked a little bit about. I'm going to be talking about adding applications, doing some wallpaper. I'm going to go over some basic settings on the machine, notifications, and search mode.